What's up, Titan? Just getting everything started for this. I think I found a little bit of a better way to set it up than we had it when we parted last week. Just using the Savior is all. Might be able to get some luck from him. Never know. Could help. And then we might as well take some Dried Acanthus with us if we've got the space. These are all the cards we have that we're not taking. I'll leave them out just so we can see them. I don't think there's any point in taking them. But I am gonna, so I put the Savior up here as green, Durin the Savior. So he's got this blue charm with him, which gives him 1, 2, 3. That counts as 1, 4, and he is given 1 because he's the blue Savior. He has 1 permanent blue affinity, so that gives him 5 total. So he has Unshakable. When you draw a trap, roll a d10 on a 6+, discard the trap, which could help. I mean, you never know. And then he's got this Dream of the Lantern, which is, so I'm going to butcher this, but it's called Lucerne. Before making a wound attempt, you may declare Lucerne X in a loud booming voice. If you do, that wound attempt gains that much luck. That much luck cannot be more than your total blue affinities. When the attack ends, gain that much hunt XP. So, Bill, welcome back, brother. We were worried about you. I'm sorry you were sick. I hope you're feeling all better. So in that case, we've got 5 blue affinities here, so we could get potentially 5 luck on some attacks with Durin. And you never know. Sometimes there might be a situation where that would help a lot. Like, I don't know, if we draw a card where a trap has a real good, or not a trap, but a hit location has a really good effect, like on a crit, we could declare that with him, and it could, who knows, you know? We're just kind of trying to ball out here. We're gonna give it our best, that's for sure. I was doing a little bit of research. I had heard that you're able to call in um, retinues even if you're out of people uh, in your help me. What's the word? Settlement. And I do think it's true, actually. In the little bit of research that I did on retinues on Board Game Geek, it kind of sounded like they opened up that discussion and that somewhere that was in the rules. So yeah, um, yeah, I'm assuming that this is gonna take a while. We're gonna play it low and slow, and we're gonna try to come out on top. I'm just not sure that is on the docket, honestly, but all we can do is try, right? So let's set up the Watcher Showdown here on the board. I still need to get our real survivors out. Um, So let's send all of these guys to the shelf. Yeah, and we get +5 armor everywhere from last week. That's right. That'll help. Let's see what we can do here. For some reason, all my expansions boxed back up when I reset this stupid room again, so that's super annoying. So we'll take her. We need a Qatar. We need a swordsman. We need 2 swordsmen actually, so we'll take you. And terrible. Yeah, luck is really honestly our only hope, which is why I kind of stacked up as much luck as we could here. He'll be getting some luck, a little bit of luck. Let's pull these out here. So based on the looks, so white will be brawn for us. It's a male survivor. Brawn. Brawn needs a... Oh, Brawn's our Katarsman. Okay. Okay. Green is Durin, our savior. Bill, do you have Discord? Oh, yeah, Bill, if you have Discord, you should totally jump in. It's a pretty cool little hangout spot. Talk about a lot of Kingdom Death rules and such in there. So our savior is a male, Braun. And this, Bell died last week. I'm not sure if you watched the video, Bill. The invite to the Discord is in the YouTube bio, in my YouTube bio. And if you can't find it, I can still find a way to send it to you. Titan, I don't know if you can send it in chat, but if you can, that would be great. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that Bell died last week in a terrible, terrible turn of events. It was a huge bummer. So that's right there. Save that. What was I doing? Oh yeah, just getting the names. Aowen. It ended when Lucky died. I know, I felt that way, and that really is a huge bummer to say, cause like, we've put in more than or the better side of a year into this campaign together, and it really sucks to like give up on it. But man, when those characters died, that really was a huge change in the way I felt about this campaign anyways. Not that I don't have faith in us, but it is a little bit tougher. Where is Durin at? Durin's supposed to be this guy. We do still have a chance. I absolutely agree with that. Idril is our last female survivor. Yep, I'm definitely not giving up on it yet. We've come this far, right? So let's read through some things for the butcher. I know that the setup takes a while, so I just wanted us all to be here for setup. So, you know what? Let's start with the actual story here. So, long ago, ravenous beasts searched the darkness, using their keen senses to find their prey. In the distance, they saw a blooming pillar of light surrounded by tasty morsels, bustling in their tiny industry. Licking their chops, they approached, but the beasts halted mid-step. The wind carried a foul, menacing presence. Surely the busy creatures were harmless, yet the menacing warning persisted. Felt in their very bones, instinctively the beasts turned away, seeking their meals elsewhere. Now, The Watcher has this instinct of absorb. Move the Watcher directly to the center of the showdown board. All survivors gain -1 strength token, and the Watcher heals 1d5 wounds. So we want to avoid that at all costs. We'll discuss retinues shortly. We'll discuss retinues before the fight starts. Let's go through here. So his basic action targets the farthest survivor, and it doesn't matter because his range is infinite. He's got 4 speed, 2 accuracy, 5 damage with knockback 10. So right here, the Watcher has unlimited movement. The Watcher's toughness is equal to the lantern year on the settlement record sheet. If the settlement has records, the monster gains +2 toughness, which we don't, do we? We do. Oh gosh, we have records. So he'll actually be set to 23 toughness. Ooh, that will make a big difference. Dang it. Okay. And he starts with 15 life points, and that's actually tracked with... Oh, that's going to be hard to do. Usually I just use spare dice. Um, Usually I use spare dice on the health card, but we don't really have spare dice. Usually I take this and just put 21 on it, on the wound stack, but I guess we still could. We'll just have to roll a few times. Oh my gosh, and that's going to be really annoying. I can't just move it. I got to get it to stay somewhere I like it. Set face. Wow. We might have to find another way to keep track of his life points, because this is going to be super annoying. We might just have to keep track of it in chat. So, audience, terrified survivors spectate the battle in silence. Emboldened, if there are less than 4 non-retinued survivors in the showdown board, a survivor from the settlement may depart and enter the showdown. Place them in an unoccupied space along any board edge. Lantern Vortex. At the start of each monster turn, all survivors in the Void Nexus suffer Bash, which is 2 all around him, plus perform basic action. And that's Lantern Vortex. Vapor of Nothingness. Whenever the Watcher collides with a survivor, the blood flow to their brain stutters for a moment. They suffer 1 brain damage and 1 damage to the head that ignores armor points. And then a retinue. You may summon a retinue, march, double march, and coordinated attack. So coordinated attack, when a survivor attacks, add +6 strength to the wound attempt total for each retinue adjacent to them. Which is where you got to use those retinues like crazy. So let's read retinues real quick. A retinue represents the settlement uniting to fight together. So we actually need to try to find... Okay, this is really lame. Oh, a retinue's 3x3, not 2x2. I don't know if they have that many 3x3s in here. Only 1 nightmare tree. Man, how do they want you to keep track of retinues? No, I think you can still summon retinues even if you don't have enough survivors, Bill. That's kind of what we were discussing earlier. I don't really know what to do about that. Yeah, but we only have 1 piece of terrain that's a 3x3, and it's the nightmare tree. So it'll only work for 1. So a retinue represents a settlement uniting to fight together. Each retinue occupies 9 spaces, as shown, and is made of 9 survivor miniatures. A retinue cannot attack the monster directly. Instead, lends its strength to other survivors. A retinue is treated as a single large survivor and moves as a cohesive unit on the showdown board, maintaining its configuration. Retinues have the following rules: targeting and effects. A retinue does not count as a threat and cannot directly be picked or selected as a target. Only monster collision and actions that apply to all survivors can affect a retinue. A retinue has no attributes and cannot be knocked down, suffer knockback, or gain status cards. For the purpose of survivor collision, treat retinues as impassable terrain. Killing a retinue. When a retinue suffers damage or collision with a monster, roll a d10. On a result of 4+, the retinue is destroyed. A retinue also is destroyed when a monster ends its movement on a space it occupies, or when the survivor controlling the retinue dies. When a retinue is destroyed, remove it from the showdown board. The settlement suffers -4 population. This loss cannot kill the other survivors currently in the showdown. Using a retinue. A survivor with the retinue survivor status card can perform the following actions. Summon a retinue. Once per act, a survivor without a retinue may place a retinue in an unoccupied space along any board edge and move it up to 5 spaces. March. At the start of their act, a survivor with a retinue gains an additional movement that may only be spent to move their retinue up to 5 spaces. Double March. Once per round, anytime a survivor can dash, they may spend 1 survival to dash their retinue up to 5 spaces, in addition to their own dash survival action. And then a coordinated attack. When a survivor attacks, add 6 strength to the wound attempt total for each retinue adjacent to them. And then we were talking about some of the threads on summoning retinues even if your population is 0. And some were claiming that you can continue to summon them even after you're out of people. Because if there are less than 4 non-retinue survivors on the showdown board, a survivor from the settlement may depart and enter the showdown. So this is for actual players to come in. If a player dies, they can come in on any side of the board edge. But there was threads I was reading on Board Game Geek about summoning retinues even with no survivors, and they were talking like it was possible even if it was just a small exploit, just because it's not spelled out. So they were like talking about maybe ghosts or whatever. It's just something that might help us out a little bit, I guess. So this just says there's no required number of population for summoning a retinue, despite 9 figures being used to represent it and it causing -4 population upon death. If the death of a retinue would cause you to hit 0 total population, you don't suffer game over. You get to continue with whoever you still have in the fight. Hmm. So I don't know. We can just play it as we can summon until we're out of population, because we have 12 total with 4 going in, so we could summon up to 3 retinues. Actually, couldn't we summon all 4, and since we have 4 worth 4 able to summon, I don't know. Yeah, this says you can for sure summon a retinue with less than 4 survivors in the settlement. Logic defying as that may be, there are no rules about population restrictions at all. So if you're down to 0 in the settlement, you get what? Ghosts? Something spooky. So we're going to take advantage of that. We're going to do that because we're going to need it. But we need something else to track. And I just don't know if there is anything to use. That really sucks. There's no other 4x4 or 3x3s. They didn't really think that out in the simulator. Actually, you know what? There is, but it's all out in the hallway for me. So if you'll bear with me while I unbox some of these, I guarantee all the extra terrain that will come out of these will give me 3 more 3x3s. So let me just unbox these really quick. Try to be as quick as I can here. I'll try to only go after the ones that I think have the... Oh, Bill, you're having connection issues? That's no good. Sorry to hear that, man. If it's on my end, let me know. I can try restarting the stream or whatever. Oh, I think those are just 2x2s. Lonely Tree expansion will be a good one. Did figure out the retinue situation. According to Board Game Geek, there is no... You do not have to have a certain population to summon retinues. It says you can summon with zero population, is what Board Game Geek said. Now I'm fine, since we're all in this together. If that just seems not right, then we won't do it. It seems like more of an exploit because of the lack of words. Because it's, I mean, that is logic defying, of course. Lion God is another one. Okay. Where is he? I keep seeing him. Right there. Okay, let's try that. That should be good. I did. I grabbed the master key during Black Friday. It was just too tempting. I couldn't resist. No regrets either. Fully committed to the beauty of the simulator. The wife was not so thrilled, however, but okay, so I got one more 3x3 out of that. I need to come across 2 more. I'm not sure if there will be 2 more in all those. Might as well try. 2's better than 1. Oh, I do have 2 Dragon King expansions, so I guess that'll help. Unless he wasn't the one with the sinkhole. So is it stalling on your end? What do you mean by stalling? I'm thinking it's not. It seems to be running pretty well on my end. Oh, that might be a 3x3. Probably not. I'm sorry about this delay. Dang. I might even have to use... This sounds terrible, but I might even have to use like Gorm, since he's a 3x3 to track along his base. That would be super... Yeah, I'm still coughing from COVID. Yeah. Yeah. If I just stop streaming one day, you guys will know why. It finally beat me. Why does nobody have 3x3 tiles? I might just have to take individual 1x1s and stack them in a 3x3 grid, which would be really annoying. I know Lion Knight's got some real weird equipment, real weird tiles, so he might have... that's a 4x4. Are there 3 stone pillars? Oh, like the 2x2? Yeah, those. And I think we could use some combinations of gear that would probably make it all right. All right, that's all I'm gonna try because those definitely don't have 3x3s. Let's make it work here. What do we got? Just a bunch of 2x2s. So let's take both stone faces and both toppled pillars. That'll do it. Right? Doesn't that make it a 3x3? Oh, of course they're 4 tall. Of course they are. Is there anything in here that's 3 tall? No. They should have made retinue terrain. Definitely. So we'll take 2 stone columns, and then we need a 1x1. So we just need a... Is it not going to let me pick these? Oh, it's... Nope. There we go. And we'll just take... We could take... How many do we need? I think we only need 2. It's kind of lame that I gotta try to make this up. So that's a retinue. Retinue. My cousin 3D printed some bases for retinues that actually ended up working really well. You can even set characters in them. It's kind of cool. Okay, so for the Watcher fight, we start 1, 2, 3, 4 off each corner. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Well, yeah, we would have an unbelievable number of endeavors because they're each worth 2. um, I don't think we start with retinues though, right? You have to actually summon the retinue in. Yeah, double trap on this is terrible. I don't believe you start with them, do you? So we're definitely missing some cards. Yeah, I thought you had to call them in. Where is the Watcher? I think we're missing some personal cards here. Yeah, we need retinues. I think we need all these. Because Stolen Dreams is a status. And isn't Horripilation used as well? No. So not Horripilation yet. But we need retinue. And we'll just pull the Stolen Dreams out too. So we'll just... I guess we can just pull them out as we need them. Okay, so he starts with 21 total life points. These are our survivors. 1, 2, 3. Somebody's off here. Who is it? Right here. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, and because of last week, we get 5 additional armor to every location. So let's, oh boy, let's go ahead and depart. Okay, and we need to apply arrival bonuses. So all of our survivors should be set in everything. So just to double check, Idril should have 5 armor everywhere, and then plus 5 more. She has 10 survival, which is good. We did get lights in the sky last week, yeah. It was awesome. And then, yeah, we got lights in the sky plus shrine And there was one other, actually, that got us another armor point everywhere. Okay, so 10 survival, solid. She's got, yep, the bump in evasion. Her strength is pretty weak. So the only way she'll hit naturally is on double 10s, which sucks without retinues. That's brutal. Yeah, it was lucky, but we needed it after losing uh, Belle. She was pretty strong. So 5 more armor. Should have a little evasion boost. Yep. Okay. We need crits so bad. Alright, and let's remind ourselves that Durin is a savior. He can call Lucerne X number one, on wounds to add that much luck. Now he has 5 blue affinities on here, so he can yell up to 5, but every time he does that, he ages 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could do 5 or 3 wounds. He also has this lucky blue charm and unshakable. When you draw a trap, roll a d10 on a 6 plus, discard that trap. Could be big. He needs 5 armor points. And then yeah, everything else looks good. He's got the luck from this as well as his permanent luck. Last is Braun, who will get 5 more armor in each spot. Now Braun, we could not get this second strength. Through all the cards that I was looking through, we'd have to give up the shield, and I'm just not willing to give up the shield to get +1 more strength. I really don't think it's going to make that much of it. I mean, look, it doesn't make that much of a difference without the retinues. Maybe that comes back to bite, maybe not. Who knows? So he should have 2 for the armor set, 3 altogether, 4 for the shield, +5 makes 9. So he's right. And he's got 2 luck, so he will be critting on. Braun will be critting on 8, 9, 10. Durin 8, 9, 10. Eowyn 10. Idril 10. Not super ideal by any means, but the problem is we don't want to burn the savior out, or do we want to just get the 3 hits with him and replace him with somebody from the settlement? I don't know the answer to that. Maybe. We attack first, so it's up to us here right off the start. 15 life points, 23 strength. Let's get into it, I guess. Now, attacking first, our savior is back there in the blind spot. But we don't have to do 5 each time for the savior either, because he's already got 2 luck. So if we roll up and said, 3, then he's only aging up 3 times, and we've got a 50% chance to crit. Ugh, that's so tough to say. It's brutal, really. I don't even know who to attack with first, because we don't have any retinues. Okay, I think we'll probably attack with the savior then. We'll jump right in with Durin, who might not even be able to get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. None of them can get there, so they're all gonna have to dash. So we'll do, Durin's only got 5 survivals, so we might as well use him before we lose him. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, dash, 1, 2. The Watcher still has a blind spot, I assume. Yeah, he does. Okay, so in the blind spot with Durin, who's attacking with the scrap sword. From the blind spot, he'll be hitting on 4 plus with 2 dice. Oh boy. 7 and a 2. Starting it out with 1 hit. This has a failure. Um, it has a crit as well. The failure isn't terrible, but I mean, we might as well start this right off the bat. So we'll take this dice that we just wounded with. We'll say Lucerne 3. We will be critting on 5 plus. We didn't even need it, fellas. We wasted it. Wasted it. Critical wound. If the settlement has the barbaric principle, let's go check. We do have barbaric. Um, all survivors gain 3 insanity. So manage departing survivors, 3 insanity. 1, 2, 3. I know it probably applies to those in the settlement too. We'll just remember that if we call them in. So because of that, Durin has to age 3 right in front of our eyes here. 1, 2, 3. There are special age rules for a savior. Birth of a savior, I think it says in here. I'll keep track of life points as well, just so that we can bounce off each other, because so he started at 15, now he's down to 14. Dream of the Lantern. So life, or when you trigger age 2, gain the Lucerne's secret fighting art, Lantern secret fighting art. So he does normal age first. Let's go to age. Not that it really matters. It might just get him, a little temporary something. So we'll go ahead and roll 2 and add them together here. Maybe it'll get him another temporary luck somehow. Nope. 7, so 13. I think that's a random fighting art. Fighting art, random. Extra sense, you may dodge 1 additional time per round. Nice. Now he did dash, and I think I forgot to take that survival away, because I think he only started with 5. Let's head back to Watcher Showdown. Starting it out with 1 hit. Okay. So that gets discarded. We don't remove any AI. He's just down to 14 life points. Let's go ahead and surge and attack again. Looking for 4 plus. 2 hits this time. 1, 2. This one has a reflex, which will happen regardless. We do not have 6 understanding. That would have been nice to gain that survival. So I think we want to do probably this wound first, because we'll either crit it, which will cancel it, or we will... so we'll either crit it, which will cancel the wound, or miss it, which will also cancel the wound. So are we going with 3? Yeah, I think we have to. Lucerne 3, which means we will crit on 5 plus. 6. It's a crit. So we have to age him 3 more times. 1, 2, 3. That is age 2. Let's take care of this first. Wound is cancelled. Strange sparks fly where the watcher warily scrapes the ground. Attacker gains a survival. And you may perform Embolden, which I believe allows me to summon a retinue, right? What's Embolden? Is that... I thought that was what lets you summon a retinue. Is that a status card in here? Heripulation. It's got to be in the back. Oops. Is it not in here? It's not in here. Embolden. I'm pretty sure that's what allows you to summon your retinue, though. Yeah, it's got to be in here somewhere. Embolden. If there are less than 4 non-retinue survivors on the showdown board, a survivor from the settlement may depart and enter the showdown. So that's actually only how you summon in. So it's not how you summon in a retinue, I guess. Embolden. If there are less than 4 non-retinue survivors on the showdown board, a survivor from the settlement may depart and enter the showdown. Yeah. So that is not quite what we're looking for. But we got that survival and the crit, the wound, so that brings him down to 13 health. Let's get rid of that. We did read the cards a little bit earlier, Bill. It might have been when you were having some connection issues, but he also gains that secret fighting art. This one. So Lucerne's Lantern, you may concentrate. If you do perform Lucerne's Lantern at the start of your next act, reveal hit locations equal to half of your blue affinities one at a time. The monster suffers a critical wound at any location with critical wound effect. Ignore the effects of a trap. Then reshuffle the hit location deck and gain 6 Hunt XP. Whoa. Monster suffers a critical wound at any locations with crits, which we can manipulate with the cat eye circlet. Equal to half your blue affinities rounded down. Half your blue affinities. So our savior has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has 5 blue affinities, which means, yeah, but we could save that. We could save that attack to his very last. So we could give him 3 more, 3 more, 3 more, and then do that one, which would give him 6 to age out with 2 guaranteed wounds if we can manipulate the hit location deck in his favor. That could be pretty nice. And at what point do we do that? You may concentrate. If you do perform that at the start of your next act, reveal those many hit locations. So let's not concern ourselves too much with that now. We are going to roll for this void light, which we can still crit on, right? The reflex applies, but the crit still wounds. So concentrate means you can't do anything else and can't get hit. Okay. So if I get hit, does that break it? Or does that mean that I physically can't receive damage? No, Bill, I might disagree. I think a Lantern 10 always inflicts a wound unless it's specifically marked as uh, whatever you call it in Pervious. Unless I am out of my mind. And but luck applies to that though, no? So a 10 will always wound but might not crit. So if it doesn't have a critical wound effect, only a natural 10 inflicts the wound, right? It has to show the crit effect. Okay, yes, I'm with you. Let's see if we can pull another Lantern 10 out here. So we are not going to declare any Lucernes here. We're just going for the natty 10. 5. That's okay. That would have been pretty crazy. So reflex. The Watcher's cloak luminesces, flooding the attacker's head with searing pain as the Watcher floats away. Attacker suffers 3 brain damage. 1, 2, 3. Gains a bleed. Move the Watcher to the center of the showdown board. If the attacker has 6+ understanding, which we do not. So that's actually the end there. Okay. What is Homeboy's basic action? It's always farthest attacker, right? Yeah, farthest survivor. Man, on that note, I don't even really know what to do here. Heavens. I guess we gotta go for the guys with luck more right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is Brawn. Then we'll have to spend a survival to dash. 1, 2, 3. We didn't have any founding stones, Bill. 4, 5. With the Katars, this could be horribly dangerous. With the Katars, he could get both traps potentially. Because he'll be hitting on 4+ with 6 dice. 5 dice. No. Because it's 2 and 2, which makes 4, and then we get 1 extra. He doesn't have a permanent speed. The speed is temporary from the gear set. So we're only technically rolling 5 dice, but we're hitting on 4+, which is kind of crazy. That's risky. You certainly don't want to pull the trap. Let's go for it. 5 dice, hitting on 4+. Oh, shoot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yikes. So that was 5 successful hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no. Oh, that is horrible. The last card. So blackout. If blackout and whiteout are drawn during the same attack, the attacker suffers head explosion. This can't be avoided in any way. Otherwise, all survivors are doomed. Perform basic action targeting the attacker. All survivors in the Watcher's facing suffer bash and knockback 10. So he will do a little flipperooski here. Dang, that sucks. Had the chance to do something cool there. So let's get this shuffled up. It's alright, I should honestly just be thankful that it didn't blow me up. So in the facing suffer bash and knockback. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's bash. Idril can ignore the effects of bash because of her armor here. But does bash come with a damage? You'll have to remind me. And Brawn needs to be attacked. So 4 speed, accuracy of 2+. Brawn has any evasion? 1 evasion, so we'll be missing on 3s. Miss, 1 miss. Nice. And we're doomed actually, aren't we? So 5 damage to each of these spots. That's insane. Hands, legs, body, they all spread out. That's nice. Arms, legs, body. He ate that up, and then knockback and bash will knock him down. Okay. So Idril still has her turn, and so does Eowyn. Eowyn doesn't have any luck, and neither does Idril, actually. So let's move with Idril. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then Eowyn has the ability to do some of our stuff here. So let's look at the AI deck so we can put the best card on top for us. And we'll surge and look at the next 3 monster hit location. I don't think we... I guess maybe I'm a little bit confused on how to summon retinues. Rules for the retinue can be found on the Watcher story event, which I thought... How do we summon it? Once per act, a survivor without a retinue... Oh my gosh! We can do that once per act? That's a huge... I thought you had to... Oh! Oh no! We've already messed up this fight. We would have summoned retinues by now for some assistance. So once per act, a survivor without a retinue may place a retinue in an unoccupied space along any board edge and move it up to 5 spaces. I read that, and I... Are we all supposed to have a retinue? Is that why there's these cards? We're all probably supposed to have one. Yep. Unless it says somewhere in there, under special rules, you gain the retinue card. It's been so long since I've done this fight. Crap. Well, that puts us at a little bit of a delay. So once per act, though, does that mean that that we could have summoned 4 retinues there? Or does that mean we can only summon 1 per act? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's going to go after Eowyn if we don't move. Let's spend our activation to activate the Rawhide Headband to look at these top 2 AI. We have Biophoton Feast. Turn the Watcher to face the furthest board edge. The furthest board edge? So he turned that way. He turned to face the right. And then all survivors in his facing. And then he full moves towards that board edge. So Idril has the best chance of damaging him with the assistance of retinues. Because she has 3 strength, plus her 1 retinue would put her at 9. And then the Lantern Sword has 3, which would put her at 12. So she would have 2 dice to combine for 11 damage to wound. So we gotta get her a retinue. What's this one? This other one is just a random survivor in field of view. So I think this Biophoton Feast is going to be better, because he'll turn to face this way. So he would hit Idril with the brain damage, which would be just fine. That's not a big deal. -1 accuracy token kind of hurts. But then he full moves forward, so he just full moves to the edge of the board here. Does she suffer knockback? No, so she would be knocked down right here, and the Watcher would be right here, with his blind spot exposed. If we moved a retinue in and put it right here next to her, she could 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She'd have to surge to get there after she was encouraged. Clawhead Arrow's also not a bad idea. That evasion bonus would be nice. But I definitely think we want Biophoton Feast next. And then I feel like, I don't know, because this has an accuracy of 5+. Idril has 1 accuracy, so that makes it 4+, 3+ from the blind spot. I'm going to wait a turn to shoot that evasion arrow. Might come to bite me, but I'm going to burn a turn on that arrow, because I'd like to surge and use the cat eye circlet just to make sure that Idril has the best chance of inflicting 2 wounds. So let's spend a survival with Eowyn, who has 9. We get to roll a d10. If she rolls a 6 or higher, because she has rawhide gear, she gets to keep it. 7, so it's a free surge. She's going to look through the hit location deck. 1, 2, like that. 3. So Whiteout is the second card. Okay. Obviously, we're going to push that down. The problem is we have to trigger Whiteout, because we can't keep pushing it down until it's back to back with another card, or we're going to regret that a lot. So this attacker loses 2 survival. That sucks. They have 10 though. And then this wound, if we wound it, we have to cancel all the hits. But it's a first strike, so it doesn't matter. We have to play it. So we gotta flip that. I mean, that one has to go first. It's the only thing that makes sense. So we're done with that. Idril is going to summon a retinue, because it does not require an activation. She's going to summon that retinue, and she can move it up to 5 spaces. So she's going to move it right there. It's true. We can find ways. Now that we can control it, we can find ways. So now I'm going to have Eowyn move, because we know the Watcher's going to go this way, so we want her to kind of keep up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll have her stop there with her 5 movement. And I believe that is going to be the end of our survivor's first attack. Fairly successful. We've got him down to 13 health points at the end of this attack. We'll be handing it off to the butcher, to the Watcher for his first attack. Watcher has an effect. Oh, Lantern Vortex, which is at the start of each monster turn, all survivors in the Void Nexus suffer bash, and then he performs a basic action. And then he draws an AI? Is that how it works? So he'll basic action first every time. So everything we just planned is not going to happen. So he even attacks knockdown survivors if they're the furthest away. Okay, then let's call this back. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what he's going to end up doing is he's going to try to target. So his basic action, he's going to target the furthest survivor away. So if we move Aowen like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we move Aowen like this, he'll roll, or even like this, I bet. How far away are these guys? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we could have him attack Aowen. So he would roll up here, attack her, and then when he draws that card, we choose which board edge he faces, so we could have him rotate and look this way. And then he would full move this way, which would, I mean, relatively put him in about the same spot. Because he's going to be here, and he'll full move towards this side of the board and end up right here. So we could even move the retinue 1, 2, 3, 4, and plan for him to run that way. Because he's going to run that way, end up right here. And then we should be able to still get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. That's probably our best option. Yeah. I think that's solid. I mean, that's as much as we can plan, you know, because nobody's in the void nexus. He shouldn't get anywhere near the retinue because he's going to pull up here and attack here, and then run to this edge of the board. Because I can manipulate him, so he's going to run and he's going to pull up right here, bonk, and sprint that way, and end up right here. Or we could move it up one, and he'll take the quicker route to get right here and then run up that way. That's probably what he would do. So he should not, under any conditions on this attack, run through one of our retinue. Let's see how this goes. Let's see if it does anything we want it to do. Let's see. So burst, he does Lantern Vortex. There's nobody in the Void Nexus, so nobody suffers bash. But he does perform the basic action, which targets his furthest survivor, which is a tie. So we're going to choose for him to target here. Now he's attacking Aowen. So Aowen, so it's 4, 2. Aowen has 2 evasion, so anything under a 4 misses with 4 dice. My gosh. Some low numbers here. Miss, miss, miss. Only 1 successful hit. Wow, and we could even dodge it because she's got 9 survival. We're going to dodge it. We're not going to... Oh, but we could afford to take it. Oh. Let's save our... There's no after damage. Oh, there is after damage. Knockback 10. We could avoid 10 knockback. But she's going to mostly be doing cat eye circlet, stuff of that nature, so that doesn't have a range on it. That's okay. We'll just dodge it. We've got the survival, so now she doesn't suffer that knockback 10. We draw an AI. Turn the Watcher to face the furthest board edge, which is definitely over here now. All targets, all survivors facing. So does that only apply to Idril, or does that apply to Durin and Braun as well? It probably applies to Durin and Braun as well, because they are... It's probably everything from this line forward, would be my guess. And they gain 3 brain damage, starting with... Let's just start with... We'll start with the top. So Braun gains 3 brain damage and 1 minus accuracy token. Durin also suffers the same fate and 1 minus accuracy token. And last but not least is Idril. That arrow might be more important now. And then he full moves forward with infinite movement, so he'll stop at that board edge. And that's the end of his first attack. Not great. Did not love that, just because of how wildly unpredictable that guy is. So, end of that monster's attack, these two yo-hos are going to stand. Have them rotate. Unfortunately, they're just going to be kind of useless, though. Which happens. So let's, our whole goal here was Idril. Let's not forget that that trap is there as well. So Idril will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then dash 1, 2 to get into this blind spot. So Idril will spend a survival. Idril is attacking with the lantern sword. She lost one of her accuracy points there. So she'll be rolling 2 dice. Oops, let me change this really quick. That is not the right gear card. I forgot to update this with the polishing lantern after we lost our survivor Bill. So, okay, we are back in action. So we will be hitting on 4s or better with 2 dice. 2 hits. We knew that was going to happen. The second one, unfortunately, is kind of going to just end up wasted, I think. Or the second one here. So let's do some math. We have a total of 6 strength between Idril's character strength and the strength of the lantern sword. We get 6 more strength from this retinue, which gives her 12 total strength. Now we have to get 23 to inflict a wound, but the lantern sword is sharp, so we can add a d10's worth of strength. So we have 2 dice to roll 11 to inflict a wound. Now, unfortunately, this is a first strike, so the attacker loses 2 survival right off the rip. Brings her down to 7, still a lot of survival. If they cannot, which we can, so we'll move past this. If we wound this, there's a little bit of a negative aspect to that, but we'll deal with that when the time comes. We're looking for wounds right now. So let's start this off with something high, like a 10. 2. So the only way we inflict this wound is with a lantern 10 on this second die. It's not over yet. It's over. So no wound there, which at least means we don't suffer this wound effect. So we'll discard that and try again with the same deal. 7. Okay. So we need a 4 plus with this second die. There it is, 8. So that is a successful wound. Brings the Watcher down to 12 health points. Now, wound. All survivors in Void Nexus suffer 3 brain damage, which is not great, because that is the last of her brain damage, and okay, it's not the worst, actually. So that is discarded with a successful wound. Now, in the situation we're in, we should probably surge. But before we surge, we need to reveal those top 2 hit location from Eowyn and push that trap down. And if there's 2 traps, we'll deal with that the way we want to deal with it. But I think in this current situation, we need to just kind of wail on him as much as we can. So Eowyn is going to spend her activation. Do I want to do the activation or should I do her survival? Because if I choose to use her activation, I also have to move her at the same time. And I don't want to have to move her right now. So we're going to spend her survival to gain another activation, so to surge. And we're going to roll to see if we can keep it here. I just want to be able to move at a later point. So 6 plus, and we get a free action. 2. So we do have to spend that survival to look at these top 3 hit locations. One. Oh, doggy. Ugh. Okay, worst case scenario here. This is not good, but it does kind of confirm the fact that I have to surge. Because worst case scenario, I pull one. Best case scenario, or worst case scenario, I pull them both and only have to suffer one. Best case scenario is I only pull one and we know they're on top. So on that note, she has a better chance of surviving a basic action than she does to take this 3 brain damage. Because she's out of insanity. So we need to, if we're going to pull one, we want to pull Blackout. So we'll draw this. Oops, I almost put that in the wrong spot. Because if we have to pull one, we want it to be Blackout. So, man, I hate it, but let's surge with Idril. Spend a survival to surge. And we're back looking for some, I mean, honestly, looking for 1-4 would be ideal. So double hit, so we do pull the trap. But you gotta take those chances. So Blackout and Whiteout were not drawn in the same attack. Otherwise, all survivors are doomed. Perform basic action targeting the attacker. So this is where it gets kind of scary because we will also all suffer bash and knockback 10, which is not good. So he's going to basic attack. I think that Idril has some good evasion. Idril has 3 evasion. So he's only hitting Idril on 5 or more with 4 dice. Miss, miss. What's this other one? So 2 hits. It's better than 4 hits. So this is worth 5 damage to each location. 5 to the head, 5 to the waist. Okay. Now what's next? Perform basic action, target the attacker. All survivors in the watcher facing suffer knockback 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She avoids bash because of her gear. But they don't. I'm guessing it forces them that direction on the board. It doesn't say that specifically, but if he was facing them, you would think that's the way that they flow. Now the retinue is also targeted because it's all survivors, and those keywords do apply to a retinue. So when they are being killed, when a refugee retinue suffers damage, including brain damage or collision with a monster. Oh, so it's not being damaged. Retinue suffers damage or collision with a monster. So it didn't take damage. Okay, so I think we're good. A retinue does not count as a threat. Only monster collision and actions that apply to all survivors can affect a retinue. But they can't be knocked down. Oh, cannot be knocked down, suffer knockback, or gain status cards. Okay, so they just chill. They just chill right there. Let's put these back. Okay. So I guess they just chill there. Which is kind of scary. So what we're going to need to do, Idril's going to have to spend a survival to encourage. Do we have a leader here with us? I don't think we do. We don't. Yep, they grabbed onto the stone faces. So Idril's going to need to encourage Eowyn so that Eowyn can get up, move, and look at those top two AI so that we can kind of control. And then from there we can decide whether we want to wake these two dummies up and get them back in the fight. So let's spend a survival with Idril. Encourage Eowyn to her feet. Eowyn will then look before moving at the two AI. We know vomit lanterns, but liquefy is new. Last threat to wound. Last threat to wound isn't terrible because that's going to be Idril, and Idril can, for the most part, take these hits better than anybody else. But after damage isn't great. But with that 3 evasion, you never know, we might be able to sneak under there and avoid any damage. And this one, move the Watcher onto the space the target is occupying. That's not good. That does bad things. That's the Vapor of Nothingness, right? Or where is it? There is something extra bad about when the Watcher ends his movement on you. And I know it's in here somewhere. Because I read it. If anybody else can remember what it is, that would be great. I could have sworn there was something more serious if he ended his movement on you. But maybe that's not the case. It's got to be, because otherwise it wouldn't be on there. I almost say we get liquefy done and over with while we can kind of control it. We can control who it's going to attack because it's last threat to wound. So it doesn't matter where any of our survivors are. It doesn't matter where they are on the board because he's going after Idril. So we would in fact be able to encourage and move to get into a position where we can attack next round. Because he's going to do this. He's going to do his Void Nexus and basic action. So he's going to go after the furthest survivor, which will be... Is that the goons up there in the corner? Unless they move closer. Then he'll go after Idril. So if we set it up so that he goes after Eowyn, because we want to keep these two alive as long as we can with their luck. So if we wake them up and move them within being closest range, he goes after Idril. He'll then turn and come after, or if he goes after Eowyn, then he'll turn and come after Idril. So he'll end up right here. So we just need to get within. Okay. So we know what he's gonna do here. So let's flip that, put that back. What we want to do is count out how far away Eowyn is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20. Eowyn is 20 spaces away. And I'm sure they're further. So Eowyn will need to spend a survival, possibly spend it, hopefully keep it. We need it. We need to get a 6+ here. Okay. So she's going to have to spend a survival to encourage Durin, our savior, to his feet. Because Durin and Bronn both need to get within 20 spaces if they don't want to get smacked with a basic attack, which truly wouldn't be the worst. I just do not want it to be Durin, because Durin needs to get back in there and get a couple more hits. So, or no, sorry, I did that wrong. I did not want to encourage Durin. I wanted to encourage Braun. Braun will stand. Come on. And then Braun will move with 5 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He'll then dash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's necessary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So Braun is now no longer the farthest threat, or the farthest survivor, so we'll subtract a survival for the dash. We'll have to subtract another survival because he is going to encourage Durin. Durin's down to 4 survival, so I don't want to waste it on encouraging. So Durin's now going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That will put him out of the range we want him to be in, so he'll have to dash 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Durin will have to spend a survival on that dash, but should be outside of targeting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So Eowyn is still the furthest away. Eowyn will still be targeted. So the Watcher will collide with Idril, which will give her 1 brain damage and 1 armor damage, which sucks, but there's really nothing we can do to avoid that. Unless, since she just suffered knockback 10 at the end of her act, if we can technically move a space, we could move this way. Because that was the end of her act. So they would have rolled up. Okay, perfect. I think we can do that. Now we need to try to decide whether we want to summon any more retinues. I mean, we definitely want to move. So if the Watcher is going to end up right here, Blind Spot's going to be back here for our lucky guys. But if we could get 1 more retinue on Idril, that would be huge to give her 6 possible, another 6 strength. So we moved this retinue last turn, so we can move it up to 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll let Braun has a better chance of living longer. So Braun is going to summon a retinue as well. And we need to know whose retinue is whose, because if they die, their retinue dies. So that's going to be important to tag. So this one here is Idril's retinue. And this one that's coming onto the board right here, right there, will be Braun's retinue. Nope, that's Durin. Braun. And that will be important because the Watcher is going to be on this space. Nope. Yes, he'll be on this space attacking Idril. So basically what we'll need is a retinue up on this corner and a retinue here on this corner. That's what it's going to need to look like in order to get that bonus. So basically Braun's going to have to spend a survival to surge his. At the start of your act, a survivor with a retinue gains an additional movement that may only be, or they can double march once per round. Anytime a survivor can dash, they may spend a survival to dash their retinue in addition to their own. So that's what we'll have to do, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 won't get it into range. So we'll have to actually dash with that retinue in order to roll up. The problem is those yahoos are in the way now. Because I kind of want her to go first, because she would therefore have our best chance of wounding. 12 plus her 6 puts her at 18, so she'd only have to come up with 5 damage points on her dice with 2. So we're going to have them step back 1. We're going to reduce their movement by 1. Let's make sure that still keeps them out of range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 to Durin, and Eowyn is 20 away. So we're all still good. Let's stick with that. I think we'll like that. So now we got to pass the torch back over to Dummy. At the end of this turn, the Watcher has 12 health points left. So the Watcher will perform Lantern Vortex. Nobody's in that Void Nexus, so he performs basic action, which targets the furthest survivor. The furthest survivor is Eowyn. Eowyn will be attacked. Basic action, sorry. 4, 2, and 5. Eowyn has 2 evasion, so anything under a 4 misses. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. 4 confirmed hits. And they didn't really spread out much for us. Double legs, double waist for Eowyn. So that is 10 damage to each. Oh, that's ugly. So we're going to dodge. We're going to hopefully keep this survival to dodge 1. We do keep it. So it is a free dodge, and we're going to dodge probably a waist. I'd rather hold on to that. That does unfortunately mean we suffer 10 damage to our legs, which will be a severe roll, and 5 to the waist. It was just unfortunate that one of those didn't miss is all. So that will take us to our first severe injury roll. On the legs. Nine. Okay, I like that. 9 on the legs. Is bloody thighs, gain 2 bleeds. She is knocked down because of that heavy hit. Always knocks you down. But that's alright. So that's the end of the Watcher's basic action. Now he's going to draw Liquefy, which is the last threat to wound. So he's going to roll right up here, just like we want him to. Okay, we're good. Yeah. So, okay, a little flaw to our plan. Because of that knockback 10, it would actually end up being knocked back into this retinue, which is not great. Because on collision, there's a chance we lose our retinue. Which, I mean, there's no point in crying over spilled milk. It's the way it is. But I believe on collision, it can kill a retinue. Yep. Wait. When a retinue suffers damage, including brain damage or collision with a monster. So it does not die on player collision. So I'm guessing that would also stop. I'm guessing that would also stop Idril's knockback. She'd knock back into this. It'd be like a terrain, so she'd be knocked down right there, rather than going back 10. So let's just roll this. It's 3 dice. Anything under a 5 is a miss. Low, 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 low. Yes, yes, yes. Oh! Three misses. 4-4-1. Three misses. That's huge. So there's no after damage. That's, I mean, that's huge for us. Okay. So that was the monster's turn. Eowyn was knocked down on the monster's turn. So she does not stand unless encouraged. And we are going to need to encourage her because we are definitely going to want to make sure that this trap stays, if there is a trap, that it stays down while Idril is attacking. So who has a lot of survival? Aside from Eowyn. Bronn will spend a survival to encourage Eowyn. Whoops. Eowyn will stand, and she will surge with one of her 6 and maybe keep it. She does keep it. Free survival action to check out the top 3 hit locations. 1. Oh my gosh. We are just getting tossed with these traps. So move the watcher onto the space the attacker is currently occupying. You may perform embolden. What else we got here? This reflex sucks. Attacker suffers 3 brain damage, which Idril can't afford the 3 brain damage. No, but that is good with the no crits because Idril is going to be our straight up attacker. She's not going to be doing the critting. Gosh. A Katara would be nice here because you can cancel that reaction, but I'm not sure there's much we can do about this. Because move the watcher onto the space the attacker is currently occupying. What does that mean? What happens to us? Is there a card? Is that Horripilation? Horripilation. Oh no, that's for long status. It's not Stolen Dreams. So I guess we just treat it as regular monster damage, which is, yeah, knockdown and bash. Or knock back and bash. Okay. Well, we'll keep it in that order then, I guess. Man, that's tough. It's a little bit of a deflate there. We had a good thing set up. Okay, so let's move that retinue here. Let's have her turn to face. Wait, how many did we just move that actually? Let me move it back. So we moved it 2, and it can move up to 5. 3, 4, 5. Oh well, I was just going to say we might as well try to get into the blind spot, but... And then we'll move this retinue. So Bronn will actually have to spend his retinue's activation to move it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then he'll have to spend an activation to dash it. We gotta try to make sure we inflict this wound at this point. So Idril's gonna turn to face. So she's attacking with the lantern sword. Hitting on 5 plus with 2 dice. Because we can't get to the blind spot with our bonuses, so 5 plus. 2 hits. Unfortunately, we'll only be able to apply 1. We'll keep it in this order, keeping in mind that she is sword proficient. So if something crazy happens, I don't know, we can always reevaluate, I guess. So she's got 12 from the retinue, plus her 6 between her permanent strength and the sword strength, which puts her at 18 total strength right now on this attack. She needs to get 23, so we have 2 dice to get 5. 2 dice to get 5. That is an automatic miss. I don't even think we get the second. Yeah, thank goodness we have Polishing Lantern. So this wound effect doesn't hit us, which I guess is kind of nice. But we switch over here to Void. Not even going to try that one. And this is a reflex, so this happens either way, so we might as well hit. Yeah, so that's a wound, which drops him down to 11 health points. Sucks, but the Watcher suddenly jets through the attacker, its passage crackling through the survivor's nerves. Actually, this one is really bad. The attacker suffers 3 brain damage and a bleed. So we're going to be rolling on brain. Move the Watcher to the center of the showdown board. We do not have... Oh, it's trouble for our retinue as well. So retinue, this is collision for a retinue. A retinue also is destroyed when a monster ends its movement on a space it occupies. So that retinue is destroyed. No way around that. So let's go to our settlement and get rid of 4 survivors. Let's just start with, okay, so Hump's been with us a long time, but that's all right. So 1. Let's take our weakest out first. I can't take Durin, he's out with us. Okay. So that was 1. Rob will be 2. Oh, actually, let me go change this, because we get 2 for each of those, because they're during the showdown. So we need to pick 2 females to keep things even. So we'll take Osha. That's 3. And Cersei is the next to go. 4 total. So they're dead. Yeah. Okay. But he did suffer a wound. He's down to 11. And that's the end of that reflex. We don't have the 6 understanding, so we can't follow him, even though we kind of did follow him. So that's the end of his attack. We know that the trap is next. And we don't want our lucky guys to pull it. So Eowyn... Dang it. How's Eowyn doing on health? Okay, so we're going to have Eowyn stay away so that she's attacked by basic action. And we'll have her spend her activation to look again. Look away for Durin. Send it down. Send Eowyn down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that he has to target her down this way. That way he doesn't run through those guys. But she'll still be furthest away. Yeah. So we're going to spend her activation to look at these 3 hit locations. 1, 2, 3. The real bummer with this is that we're only going to be able to attack once, which is Okay, it's 2 crits though. 2 crits. So this is good for our next attack. It's what we want. We want to gain a survival for sure. The problem is archive all stolen dreams survivor status cards. So that means if we crit void tentacles, that means none of us can gain stolen dreams for the rest of the game. Because there's only 4, and if you archive them all, they're gone. So that means none of us would take the stolen dreams status for the rest. That could be amazing. And it would cancel the reflex. Okay, this could be a good turn for us. So, I mean, obviously we can't count our chickens yet, you know what I mean? 1. So we're going to put this on the bottom because I want the for sure chance to draw void tentacles to give us that chance. So we're going to move with Durin. Durin's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, dash to get into the blind spot. So let's go spend his survival there. Back to departing. So that's a survival gone for Durin. Durin is going to roll his 2 attack dice. He is hitting on a 5 plus with 2. One hit. See, I mean, we did that because we wanted the guaranteed chance of drawing void tentacles. Okay, now I think we stick with 3. Lucierne's 3. That gives us a 50-50 chance. Unless we want to bump it up to something higher to guarantee this crit. We definitely want this. To avoid stolen dreams status for the rest of the fight is a very big crit to inflict. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking, I made a huge mistake in this fight. If I would have given Durin the Bone Axe, his crits would be Savage, which would have done 2 damage each. So he would be down to like 7 life points if I would have brought the Bone Axe instead of the Scrap Sword. Why did I not think of that? Terrible. Oh, that's gonna that's gonna eat me up for a while. So what is this last dot? Let's analyze that really quick. So he's at age 10 right now. So he retires at age 16. So we can get all the way up to that bubble before we lose him, because it's after you go past the retired bubble that he ceases to exist. So, I mean, we want to get all the way to 16. I think it's 16, Bill, because 15 is just age, and then he retires at 16, and anything past 16, he ceases to exist. Yeah, but we can get him all the way up to 16 and then use the art, is what I'm saying. Right? Because if he gets up to 16, uses the art, he'll cease to exist. So, oh gosh. So do we use... And does he have to be adjacent to use that art? It doesn't ever say. Because that'll never work. He'll never be adjacent, and stay adjacent for a whole round. It doesn't say anywhere about having to be adjacent. You just have to concentrate. Oh man, this is a tough call. Cause do I spend all six? One, two, three, four, five, six. Do I spend all six to guarantee this hit? So you may concentrate. If you do, perform Lucerne's Lantern at the start of your next act. Reveal hit locations equal to half your blue affinities one at a time. The monster suffers a critical wound at any location with critical wounds. Ignore the effects. Ignore the effects of trap. That's nice. Man, if we would have brought the bone axe, because I know he's hit twice, so that'd be worth 4. This is 2 more guaranteed crits, which would be worth 4 more. Oh, we messed up not bringing the axe. We're missing out on, I mean, upwards of 5 more life point hits. That was a big error on our part. My part. Okay. So you don't have to be adjacent. That's what I'm getting from that. It's just a move. So, oh, man. I don't know. I don't know if I just. Oh, I can't say Lucernus 6 because I only have 5 affinities. I can't say more than 5. I might as well say Lucernus 5 to guarantee this hit. Well, to give us the best odds of this hit. I think that's the move. It's got to be. Okay. For Void Tentacles, Lucernus 5. Yeah, dang it. Big waste, but oh well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he got that third age. Let's do a few things first. So that's done. He's reduced down to 10 hit points. And the reflex is canceled. All stolen dreams are archived. Any knockdown survivors may stand. So that's nobody, but he gets this age. Go to severe injuries, that's not what I meant to go to. So he comes to age here. And it's age 4? I don't think we did age 3. I don't think I've rolled on this table. Because we got the random fighting art, but then I don't think I rolled for 2, 3, or now 4. Did I? You're owed 2. Okay, so enhanced senses and lucky elder. Let's do enhanced senses first. It's probably going to give us +1 luck. 13. 13. Oh my gosh, it says ignore the effects of age. Wow, that's crazy. It is. Oh, so that 13 would have been for here. Improved reflexes. So that 13 is 1 permanent strength, which does us no good. But that's okay. So now we'll roll on the enhanced table. Which is 12. Different, but not really. Random fighting art. On a perfect hit, make an additional attack roll. Okay. And then last but not least is Lucky Elder. Let's see what his last bonus will be. 16. 16 is +1 permanent speed. Okay. All right. So here's a little debate that I'm having in my own head. Do I spend a survival to surge with Durin, knowing full well that the trap is second under there, but also knowing that I have Unshakable? When I draw a trap card, roll a d10. On a 6+, we get to discard that trap. And we also know that if I only hit once, it does have a crit location on it. But I'd only be able to call out Lucierne's 1, because I only want to age once. I mean, it's a chance at discarding a trap, right? We got to take that. So Durin is going to attack with 3 speed, hitting on 5+. 2. Okay, so he does draw the trap. Void, Nerve Ring, and Blackout. But I get to roll once, and if I get a 6+, we discard that trap. Come on. No! Ugh. Bummer. It's Blackout. We know this one. So we perform basic action, targeting the attacker. And we'll all suffer for this, unfortunately, on the bash and knockback. So it's basic action. Does Durin have any evasion? Durin does not have any evasion. So it is just raw dice 4, 2, 5. Couple of ones maybe, please. No ones. Couple of threes. The dice tried. It tried to be good to us. So these are worth 5 damage each. Spread them out. Double body. That blows. So Durin, old boy, old chap, he'll be okay. 5 to the legs. 5 to the head. 10 to the body puts him on the heavy. Then, all survivors in the Watcher's facing suffer knockback 10. Oh my gosh, is he going to heal? I hope not. Knockback 10 and bash. So knockdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Knockdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Knockdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Standing up. Because she's got the leather armor. So she can ignore bash. She might have to tank some hits for us here. Whoops. Alright. And that will actually end that for us. I mean, I guess Idril could encourage Braun, but then Braun can't even get there on a dash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, not even close. We didn't get to look at the AI. We kind of know what it is. It's an intimidate action, which is not great for Idril, but not terrible. So I guess we'll just let the cards unfold. Because he goes after the furthest survivor here, so he'll go after Braun. Braun's got decent armor left. He's got a pretty good chance of surviving it. I don't think it's... And he can dodge once. I don't think it's worth the survival from Idril. Just to avoid the attack. So we will... So 1 second. Let's go back to... Back to the Watcher here. I just wanted to look at the retinues really quick. Retinue rules. Nice. Okay. All right. So his basic attack is for the survivor. So let's move him through that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I counted it out. It was the same distance as if you were going through the retinue. So since I can control, I'm going to control that way. So he's going after Braun. Braun has some evasion. Braun has 1 evasion. So anything under a 3 here misses, which is terrible odds. It tried. That one tried to get under a 3. Not quite. We will definitely be dodging one of these, but hopefully the rest of them kind of spread themselves out. Waist, body, body, hands. So we will be dodging one of those body shots for sure. Waist, body, and arms. No extra sense, unfortunately. Somebody does. Somebody has it. Durin has it, the savior. but they're okay. Braun's alive, so I guess that's something. And then now he does his basic action, which is vomit lanterns. Random survivor in field of view. Oh boy. So this is a rando. Oh boy. Let's get our universal cards out. So, yeah, but we don't want Durin to die before his time. So it's a little bit risky to use him as a meat shield. Because if he dies before we can get a couple guaranteed hits out of him, that would suck. We definitely want those 2 hits, for sure. So let's... It's number 1. Who's our top one? Braun. Poor Braun is going to continue to get wailed on. Which actually sucks, because he can't dodge. So 3 dice, hitting on 3+. Oh, 1 miss. Nice. So 2 hits, worth 5 damage each. Head and waist for Braun. I think that's okay. It is. Braun, you legend. Way to eat those up. So after damage, target suffers knockback 10, but he's already back there. Move the Watcher onto the space the target is occupying. So he'll move right here, and he'll get squished out this way towards the board edge and get knocked down. He will then suffer 1 damage to his body. Not great. Heavy. Okay. So that's the end of Dummy's attack. So everybody else stands. Actually, I think Braun even stands too, because he was knocked down beforehand. He was just targeted while he was knocked down, and you can't be re-knocked down if you're already knocked down. So, strategy-wise here, we need... So actually, strategy-wise, does Durin have to spend both his activation and his survival to concentrate? Or activation and movement to concentrate? Yeah, I can't risk meat shielding with Durin with his body being out. I think the next person we bring in to replace him from the settlement could definitely be a meat shield, but if we can get these 2 guaranteed hits out of him, that'll bring him down to 8. 8 health points. I don't know. It's kind of a tough call. It's all about deck manipulation. Concentrate is in the back of the book? Let's go look. I think I was looking for embolden last time, and that's not what I... So, concentrate. You need to focus your mind to perform extraordinary feats. At the start of your act, declare your intent to concentrate. Immediately end your act and attempt to concentrate till the start of your next act. To successfully concentrate, you cannot attack. Oh, you cannot perform any kind of actions, move for any reason, suffer knockdown, suffer any kind of damage, gain any bleeds, or any negative attributes. Okay. So if we leave Durin where he is and concentrate, there's a solid chance he won't be targeted because he will make sure he's not the farthest away. And we can look at these cards here in a minute and see. But I think first we need to surge to look at these top 3 hit locations, because if there's 2 crits back to back, oh man, that's tough. I don't really know. Maybe we need to attack first and analyze at the end of the round, because if there's crits up top, we don't want to peel through them with these other guys, but then their turns would be wasted if there are crits. That's a really tough call. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to dash with Idril. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to summon. Actually, I'm gonna have Braun move his retinue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That retinue is probably gonna die right there because of knockback, because of something. So maybe I'll spend a survival to dash it up here. That at least gives us a chance of it not being targeted. And then Idril is going to summon her retinue right here and move it. Okay, wait. Everybody, wait a minute. Because we could also, hear me out, we could also summon a third retinue from Eowyn up here and move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even dash it, and we could get plus 18 strength. I mean, that's just guaranteed hits, but we would guaranteed lose a retinue, right? Actually, it's only if the monster ends its movement. So I think if it suffers collision, there's still a chance it survives. So yeah, killing a retinue. When a retinue suffers damage, including brain damage, or collision with a monster, roll a d10. 4 plus, it's destroyed. But if we get our retinues summoned now, at least they're on the board. And because we can't, I don't think we can summon them once we have 0 uh, people in the settlement. But if they're already out on the board, they're already out there. So, I mean, logically, we might as well summon them up, right? So let's summon this one. And this one's going to be theirs, Eowyn's. Eowyn's going to spend her retinue movement to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She will then dash that retinue to get into this position. Spending a survival. This isn't a normal survival action, so she does just lose that survival. But now Idril can attack with the lantern sword. She has to attack it blind, though, which is terrifying. But it's a fresh deck, so this is our best chance, right? Or should we surge right now? Or should we have Eowyn spend her activation to look at this hit location? We could spend it, but then we'd almost have to delay a turn before we concentrate. We could try our best to make the most. Let's do that. So let's Aowen's gonna take her turn to look at this hit location deck at the top three. 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh. I I don't even know what to say. We can't draw 2 or 3 cards without pulling one of the 2 traps. That ruins our entire idea. I don't know what to do about that. Because we're hitting on 4+ with the Lantern Sword. But we're rolling 3 dice. We're rolling 3 dice with the Lantern Sword, so if all 3 hit, we pull it. I should be hitting on 4+, because I'm hitting on 5+, and then the yeah, for the wound. Yeah, for the wound is a 2+. But I'm talking about to hit. So to hit, it's a 4+, and then, but the problem is that we're rolling 3 dice. So if we get 3 hits, we're toast. And I don't know what to do about that. I don't think there is anything we can do about that. Do we just have to go and... We could Fist and Tooth, but we would lose Sharp. So we have 6, 12, 18 strength, plus her 3 strength for Idril, right? 3 strength, so that puts us at 21, and we need 21. So it would still be 2+. You are totally correct. So if we attacked with Fist and Tooth, she has no accuracy buff. It's 2 dice hitting on 8 or better, so 7+ with 2 dice. Yeah, let's do that. So put this on the bottom. Which one of these is going to be better? Oh, not that one. So if we have to pull one first, we'll pull this wound. So we're rolling 2 dice, hitting on 7s or better. We need at least one. Okay, we got one. Okay. We know what it is. Idril has no luck, so I think we'll only crit on 9, 10 here, unless I'm mistaken. But we'll hit on like everything. But a 9, 10 would be cool. 6. So that's just a normal wound. So he turns to face, and we gain a bleed. Idril gains a bleed. But that is definitely a hit, so that brings him down to 9. I wish Fist and Tooth was savage. Now what the heck do I do? If I surge, I'm going to pull that trap. Because I don't think we can push it down again, can we? Oh, oh. Couldn't we surge with Aowen to check that and push it down? Right? She's only looked once. She spent her activation to look. So now we can surge, look, push it down, and try to attack again? Or am I forgetting something? Okay. So let's possibly surge here. See if Aowen gets to keep it. She gets to keep it on a 6+. Okay. Thank you, Die, for your help. Truly appreciated. So that is a spent survival. To look at these top three. 1, trap, 3. Okay. So we push this guy back. We put Void Polyps up front. And then we just hope for only 2 hits. And you know what? If we get more than 2 hits, then that's just the way the game goes. Idril is in the best position of her life. She could also Fist and Tooth again, but I don't really want to. Because I feel like we need to get at least one. I think we need to try to send it here. What do you think, Bill? You think it's worth trying the Fist and Tooth, or should we just go after it with the sword? We're hitting on 5+, so I think odds are we're going to miss one, right? 5+. Show me 2 hits and 1 miss. A miss and 2 hits. How about that? Hit, hit, 3 is a miss. I'll be. Okay, so we draw these 2. Void Polyps and Void Tentacles. We are hitting on a 2+, critting on solid 10s only. Like that, right there. That's a crit. So we are sword proficient, so we can decide which one of these we like more. This would cancel the reflex. Okay, let's get rid of Void Tentacles, because that reflex we don't want to observe it. So that drops us down to an 8. The Watcher has 8 total health points. And next we're going after a Void Polyps. Looking for the 2+. Another, oh my gosh. Wow. What an awesome attack. I'm glad we surged and went after it. So we did surge. Don't let me forget to take that survival action away. The gelatinous spray, it is slick and slippery. The attacker gains +1 evasion and -1 movement. +1 evasion token and -1 movement token. Awesome. So that brings him down to 7. 7 health points. We're on the hill back down if we can find a way to get the rest of the way down. Now, unfortunately, we know the next 2 cards are traps. So the big question is, what do we do about it? Do we just... Alright, so let me think now about Concentrate, because Durin has not moved. So Concentrate could basically set him up for hitting it next turn, which could be good. Arrow, okay. 1. Oh. I don't want Durin to be the farthest away. When it chooses to attack. Void Nexus is gonna... Oh my gosh, is that gonna kill all of our... No, I think it says they can't suffer bash. Does... Oh my gosh. Why do I forget all the rules as soon as a word comes up? Bash, so it's just to be knocked down. So they actually don't get toasted by Void Nexus, which I think we might have known. I think we looked that up earlier. So Void Nexus is not going to hurt the retinues. But if he moves through him, it is. Who do we want? Do we want to have somebody intentionally pull the trap? The arrow will pull the trap, but it'll give him that -1 evasion. Arrow's going to be hitting on a 5+. What if we did this? Do we have a... Oh, no, it's a trap. So we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And shoot the arrow at him, hitting on a 5+. Oh my gosh, they missed. They missed the freaking arrow. And we've already surged, so we can't spend another activation to shoot our bow. Oh no. It is much better than 2 traps, you're right. We might have to wait. I know what we could do. We could wait till next round. We could have Durin concentrate right now and peel through as much of his deck as we can next monster turn till we can try to get 2 criticals back to back. And then... Or we could pull the trap on our own terms next turn. Is basically what I'm thinking. Because if we stop now, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So he'll still target Eowyn with his basic attack, which will obliterate that retinue, which is tragic. So let's have Durin summon his retinue in, like right here, before we lose the opportunity to. Because I think once this one's gone, we can't summon any more retinues because we're out of population in the settlement. I don't know if that's a rule. It's not, but I don't know if I want to keep bringing retinues in. I don't know. It seems a little cheesy to me, but I'm all about cheese. So he'll target Eowyn, perform basic attack, and then we don't know what his AI is. This is his first unknown AI. But if we have Durin concentrate, we would have all our turns next to try to find 2 back-to-back crits, which I think is what we'll do. So we'll just... Actually, and also what we could do... I have a better idea. What if we move Braun so that he's the furthest away? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we block one with the shield. Because he'll roll up to attack Braun. Braun's blocking one. Yeah, I like that. We'll do that instead. So that's the end of our turn. Braun is blocking. So it's the Watcher now. Void Nexus sucks, but guess what? Homeboy gets to avoid that because he has... Idril has the leather armor, so she avoids it. Now basic action targets the furthest survivor, which will go 1, 2, 3. I mean, it really doesn't matter how we move it. This retinue is destroyed. And actually, I'm going to switch that out with the one. It's way easier to move this one. I don't remember where I put it. I think it was somewhere right in there. -4 population, which is actually our only 4 left. So they'll just have to be deader than dead. I hope we took at least 1 female out with us. Oh, good. 2. Good, good. So we can no longer... Ooh. Ooh. That's tough because we can't embolden anymore. So if... Oof. If Durin kamikazes himself, we can't We can't bring anybody in to replace him. Ooh. And if Braun dies, we can't let Durin die, or it's over because we're left with 2 female survivors. We have to. Oh my gosh, that just added a whole new layer of strategy that I don't want. Oh man. Yeah, we have enough endeavors to make kids, but we have to have a male and a female to do it. If we don't have a male and a female, they can't. That's tough. That's so tough. Okay, well, I mean, we'll deal with that as it gets closer. So 4 speed, we have 1 evasion, so anything under a 3, I know it might not even be worth worrying about. Anything under a 3 here is a miss. 1 miss. And we get to take one of these away on a block and then possibly dodge another one. So let's see what we're dealing with here. Okay, it's pretty spread out for Braun. Braun can take the 4. I mean, so we'll block the headshot. And do we spend our last survival to dodge the body shot? Yeah. Sorry. What we would actually do is, yeah, and then this one would come out as head. Because we're obviously going to... And then I think we should spend our last survival to dodge the headshot. And just take the 5 to the legs. Which is a light hit. Now it's the monster's basic action. Harrow. Closest threat. Oh, shoot. Actually, this is good because it reduces the survival to 0 and it's already 0. So this is 4 speed. Ouch. This is more than likely the end of Braun. Which is not good. 3 plus. Lots of misses. No misses. Yep. 4 hits. That's sad. Dang it, Braun. Braun, you were a champion for us for a long time. You soaked up a lot of hits this fight. I mean, zeroed his armor, really, realistically. So that 4 to the head, or that 5 to the head is just a heavy. But we have to go to the severe injury table twice for body, once for waist. Shoot. You hate that. Okay. So body, we'll start there. First body roll. No, Braun did not have Acanthus. Unfortunately, that was with Durin and Eowyn. Shoot. Shoot, shoot. Ah, darn it. Okay. Braun experiences instant death. The blow sends a bone fragment directly into your heart, killing you instantly. Shoot. You did good, Braun. You did good. Luckily, Braun's retinue was the one that was destroyed. So we have to cause 5 more wounds. Steel Sword? Steel Sword's been gone for a really long time. Braun was rocking with the Lion Beast guitars. So, oh man, our situation certainly hasn't improved. just because that trap is right there. That trap hangs over our head like a literal nightmare. I think what we should do is Eowyn should look at the top 3 hit locations. If there isn't 2 crits, then we'll put the trap on the bottom and move Idril into the blind spot and just try to score some more hits. Probably pull the trap, maybe not. Otherwise, if there are 2 crits, we'll have, or Durin's already concentrating. So if there are 2 crits, we can move those and Durin can get those 2 guaranteed hits. Right? That's probably the best strategy. Try to get those crits where we want them. So let's move up. Let's go 1, 2, 3. We're not going to use the blind spot because we want both of these retinue bonuses. That'll give us 12 extra. Now Eowyn has to surge. So let's see if she gets to keep this survival action. A 1. So she loses that survival to look at these top 3 cards. So I guess I should not have moved Idril yet. If there's 2 crits, I will not be moving Idril. Actually, you know what? Let's just go back right now because nope, because I don't really remember where they are. If there are 2 crits, we'll turn the clock back and get this moved back. If not, Idril's going to attack. 1, 2, 3. So there are 2 crits. So we will be putting white out at the bottom. And then I don't even care what these are. They go back on top in that order. Let's turn back the clock here. Move this back down. I think it was down 2. And this came back down to like this. I think it was something to this effect. I think it was actually the opposite of that. So I think that this one was up here like this. No? How the heck was it? Shoot. Sorry, guys. I'm going to need just a minute to figure out how this was, because it worked out just perfectly. I think it was like this. Or maybe it was one more forward. Pretty sure it was like this. And the watcher was right here in this pocket. Now it might be one lower or one higher. I know it's not one higher. I'm pretty sure that's right, because these guys are right up against the border. So, so Idril is not going to take her turn, but now Durin will take his turn, which since he started concentrating at the end of his last turn, I mean, do we do this? This gets rid of our last male. Do we go all in here? I mean, I guess it would be okay with me if our settlement ended defeating the Watcher. That would be kind of poetic. Like we did the best we could. We killed him, but we didn't have the strength to continue on after. It's better than him beating us, right? So let's do it. Durin uses Lucerne's Lantern. So he has 5 blue affinities, so he will look at 2 cards. He will then gain 6 Hunt XP after this. So, darn it. First, and he suffers this critical. A distant growing whale. The attacker gains 3 survival. turn the Watcher to face the farthest board edge and full move towards it. So he will actually run all that way. That sucks. But he suffers that wound, which brings him down to 6 total health points, my bad. So 6 health points. This retinue just suffered monster collision, so on a result of 4 or higher, it suffers a damage. Low, 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 low. Dang it. We fired the Watcher up. He's angry. That's alright. That's Durin's retinue, actually, so it was about to disappear when he ages. And then the next card, critical wound. Gain 2 strength tokens you may perform Embolden. We have nobody to perform Embolden on, but it does successfully cause the wound, bringing the Watcher down to 5 total life points. Now, the end of Lucerne's Lantern, we then reshuffle the hit location deck, which will give us a chance at shuffling this trap down a little bit. Never know. Okay. Now, he gains 6 Hunt XP. So I believe that he ceases to exist. I'm pretty sure that's fairly apparent. It doesn't say anywhere. I haven't actually seen that anywhere except on the Phoenix. So maybe just give our homeboy a moment of silence. Yeah, you don't even get endeavors when you cease to exist. Which, darn it, we really need them, right? We got crazy amount of endeavors. Okay, yeah. I'm sure that he ceases to exist, right? I mean, I know it's not spelled out anywhere, but should we know that? All right, let's read it just in case. I did try during that moment of silence. I tried to look it up, and it seemed like it was fairly specific. Like it has to tell you cease to exist. But I don't really know what to look up for that. I just looked up um, if a survivor ages more than retirement, do they cease to exist in KDM? And the only thing coming up is like Phoenix stuff, which I know, but the Phoenix stuff says specifically. Um, read under. Oh, nice. Yeah, under the blue survivor. That's probably right. Lucerne, when you trigger age 2, life exchange. In the aftermath, gain an additional hunt XP. You may not wear other gear. If you trigger the white story secret event, you cease to exist. When you retire, you cease to exist. But wait, retire is at the end of the hunt. Retirement is after that hunt's done, right? Which unfortunately doesn't help us with retired. When the final hunt XP box is filled, the survivor retires. Some disorder and severe injuries also force retirement. Retired survivors can no longer depart, but still contribute to total population. Which unfortunately, he won't, because it says when you retire, you cease to exist. So that doesn't solve our problems, but it does leave us with another survivor capable of critting, because he's got some built-in luck stats. Let's make him back alive. So we can't use that stuff anymore because we can no longer gain hunt XP. So I would say that that is a fair reading of that rule, because we can't fill in any more hunt XP, so we can no longer use that. Otherwise, you could just use 1,000. You could just use it every time and not worry about aging, right? I don't know. That's another one where it's not explicitly spelled out. Like, yes, it says you gain that hunt XP, but I don't know. It's kind of annoying a little bit, I guess. So Idril's the only one that hasn't taken her turn. Let's try to get back to the strategy here. So he's going to perform basic action first, which is for the survivors. That's actually going to be Durin. He's going to come after Durin. So let's get Eowyn out of the way, because she hasn't moved, because he's going to come in after Durin. Then he's going to attack him, and then he's going to perform this basic action, which we don't know what it is. So we might as well just move on with it, move forward. There's really nothing else we can do. Actually, Idril could block. She could block one, and then she could actually get moving around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I'm sure the Watcher's going to end up over here somewhere, so we want her within range of attacking. So we'll end it that way. And the Watcher's going to fly over on his magic carpet, and he's going to attack Durin. Durin has 0 evasion. 4, 2, 5. Only one's miss. Ouch. Ah, 1 miss. It's not bad. And he's got some survival to dodge, and he's extra sense, so he can dodge twice. So three damage worth, or 3 hits worth 5 damage each. Body, hands, hands. Arms are actually okay. So let's dodge the body. And dodge a hands? I don't know. Ooh, that's risky. Because there's a solid chance that this AI is going to target Durin again. Do we want to save? So we're definitely going to eat one of those to the hands. Do we want to fill it into a heavy? Or do we want to risk it and dodge? Tough call. Tough call indeed. I say we dodge. Keep him alive as long as we can. We don't know that this card's going to attack him, but we do know he's about to take 5 damage to the legs, or to the arms. Whoa. Just 1 there. So we'll dodge this other arm's hit. And now he's going to take his AI turn. Mortify. Ouch. Closest threat, so it is definitely coming after Durin again. Which sucks. But what are you going to do? So let's get after it. 4 dice, looking for some more 1s. No ability to dodge here. These have to be taken straight. A 1! A 1! Oh my gosh. 2 misses. So 2 misses, which means 2 hits worth 4 damage each. Hands and head. We can take that 4. We can take that 4. So, nice. But after damage, target suffers a bleed. Set insanity to 0, which it already is. This is a freshly shuffled hit location. So what we're going to do, since it's our turn, we're going to move Eowyn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, really. We are going to spend her activation to look at these hit locations. 1, 2, 3. Wow. Okay, it's not a trap, but that reflex will cancel our attack. There are no crits, so there's no point in using our crit bonuses. Okay, so these two are the same, right? Oh, 6 understanding versus 6 courage. She has neither, so they're basically the same. So let's put them back in. We'll just put them back in the order we drew them. And then we are going to move Idril. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Idril's going to move her retinue 1. Eowyn is going to move her retinue 1. Idril's going to dash into the blind spot. I don't know why that is being weird. There we go. So Idril spent a survival to dash. And now she's going to attack. 3 dice, hitting on 4 plus. 1, 2. Was there a third? 1, 2, 3 hits. We know what they all are. Okay. Let's go for Void Toxin first, I suppose. Because we have... Wait, whoa, whoa. This is not the way I wanted to move things. I didn't think this through. Because there was definitely a way to get the double bonus. So she was right here before she dashed. Oh, wait, I was supposed to wait. Dang it. Dang it. I think she was right here before she dashed, actually, because she went 1, 2, 3, 4. Shoot, now I don't remember, but there was definitely a way that I had planned it out to get both of those in use. Shoot. I think I might have needed to wait and move after Israel moved. Shoot. So without that second, we have 2 dice to come up with 11. Because I was supposed to wait, I was supposed to move them now, like this. It was well within their abilities to move. If you guys are okay with that, that's how I was planning. I was supposed to get into position first. I mean, it was only a 1 or 2 space move for each of those. So, that gives us 12. Plus our 6 puts us at 18. So we have 2 dice to come up with 5 damage. No, 3 damage. But that one is just not going to do it. That one is not going to do it. One does not help. It sure does not. Okay. So the attacker gains a random disorder. Monster Panic. Basic action, target the attacker. So he will turn to look right at me. They do have that proficiency, but if I choose to put it on a reflex, that reflex moves him way away, and I suffer brain damage. I think Idril has a better chance of taking the physical damage than the brain damage. With 4 evasion, she's looking at only hitting on 6 plus with 4 dice. We need like a historically low roll here. 2 misses. 2 misses, but 2 hits. The problem is the after damage is knockback 10. Ugh. I'm not worried about the 10 damage. I'm worried about the freaking knockback. Unless there's... I think there might be a retinue behind me. Nice, that'll stop me. So 5 to the hands and 5 to the waist. Okay. Now I suffer knockback 10, but I collide with this, so I would get knocked down. There's definitely still a chance to encourage me. I'd probably have to use Durin's to encourage me up, so that Eowyn can surge and look at the deck. And that will decide whether Idril surges and attacks, or Durin attacks from behind with his luck bonus. So Durin is going to spend a survival to encourage Idril up. Now Eowyn is going to surge, possibly spend this survival action. Hopefully not on a 6 plus. We get to keep it. Nice, free survival. Is going to surge, and look at these top 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow. Okay. Whoever attacks has to have 2 survival. Idril does. This is big. This is big. So if we put the wound back on bottom, that puts a crit there, and a non-crit here. So then Idril will surge and attack again with 3 dice. No longer in the blind spot, will only be hitting on 5 plus. 1 hit. Okay, that leaves both crits there. The attacker loses 2 survival, so that will be her last surge. Dang it. But that's okay. It has a reflex. Oh, that's going to blow the whole thing. You hate that, don't you? You hate that. Critting without a crit. Ah. So that drops her down to 4. The Watcher. Sorry, it drops the Watcher down to 4 total hit points. 1 sec. I gotta get a drink of water. Also, pause for 1 second. We got another rules issue here. Hear me out on this, alright? I know it kind of goes against what we've been talking about, but while I grab that drink, I looked it up just because it's really important for this situation. On page 53 in section 6, apparently in the rulebook, when it goes over critical wounds, it says when a critical wound occurs all reactions on that hit location are canceled. That just says when a critical wound occurs. Does that count for even if it doesn't have the critical effect on it? Let's look at it. It says it's on page 53. I just want to look. I could be totally wrong, but I just want to look because it's important. Perfect. Okay, that makes it way easier because right here, it's got this critical wound thing right here. Yeah, that's perfect. So the only thing I read, when I read it, it didn't have this part that says critical wounds are represented by a black diamond with a lantern symbol. That's perfect. That makes complete sense, and that lines up with what I thought. I just wanted to check. So the reaction still happens, or the reflex, I mean, which is hypnotic undulations roll over the watcher's surface. Turn the watcher to face the attacker, then move 3 spaces backwards. Cancel all hits now out of range. So he looks here, goes boop, and this guy goes off to the side, right? And knock down. Because he would normally go knock back 10, but since he's at the board edge, or does he like pinch off that way 10 spaces, or 5 spaces, or whatever? I think he's down right there, but I might be wrong. It doesn't make much of a difference. Um, but he's knocked down there. And according to this, when a watcher collides, they suffer 1 brain damage and 1 damage to all armor points. So let's put that away. So it is a brain damage for Durin, and 1 to all. Oh no. Oh no, that's head and body? Well, he has this dried acanthus. You suffer a severe injury, ignore it, and archive this card instead. So I probably have to pick between head or body on severe injury there. Ugh. Head, right? Isn't the head one? Aren't the head ones just worse? They gotta be worse. I mean, it's a headshot. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 1 through 4 you're dead? Yeah. So we will spend that to avoid that headshot. But we do have to roll for the body. Dang it. Show us something special here, Durin. You savior, you. Not great. Not great at all. That might be disemboweled. 4? That's a gaping chest wound. Which actually might not be too bad. We don't need the strength. Suffer -1 permanent strength. Gain a bleed. Alright. We're not hitting based on strength right now anyways. Oh, it's a gaping chest wound. Okay. Yeah. Not great, obviously, but he's toast at the end of this fight anyways, so. Gives us a little chance to survive, even though it's kind of lame because that was actually just a reaction. That wasn't even soaking up a hit for us. Now, I believe, and I could be way wrong here, but I believe that it was Durin that encouraged Idril. So I think Eowyn could encourage Durin. I do not believe that Eowyn has encouraged anybody yet. She has only looked at a card and surged. But I could be totally wrong. Bill or anybody else in chat, if you remember it any differently, please let me know. I don't remember her surging, but she certainly could have. Do not recall. Titan, are you still there? Do you know? Shoot. I really don't think she did. I'm pretty sure I passed it to Durin specifically to encourage. Well, when we watch it in the playback, we'll know whether this was a really bad decision or not. So Aowen's going to possibly spend a survival to encourage. Can she keep it? Yes, she does. Free survival action. She's going to encourage Durin. And Durin's going to do his dandiest to attack. It's sure been a minute since he has done any of that. So Durin is attacking with the scrap sword. 3 dice, hitting on 6+. Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't matter outside of crits, so we're looking for 6 or better. 1? Just 1. Ugh, that sucks. So 1 hit. Does have a crit on it. Failure is not great. Not great at all. So let's not fail. Just for, yeah, so we can't overcome his strength. Because that retinue gives us 6 strength. We have a total of 4 strength. Which means we have 10. So we need 13. So we're really only doing anything fancy on a crit, which is 8, 9, 10. So it's not impossible. 8, 9, 10 right here, please. That 8 was so close. It really wanted to be. So failure, attacker gains -1 strength token. Turn the watcher to face the farthest board edge and full move towards it. So full move. Now our retinue there suffers damage. On a 4+, they are destroyed. Dead. Retinue's gone. And then Idril suffers a brain damage and 1 damage to every armor location. 1, 2... And she has to roll on the freaking brain trauma chart. Do not tell me. You know what, I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm not even going to talk about it. We'll just go roll real quick, get it done. No sweat at all. No problem. 3, and we get to add 2, so 5. 5 is that better than 3? Yeah. You thrash about wildly, dealing 1 damage to yourself and every adjacent survivor. Gain a random disorder and a D5 insanity. So 1 damage to herself, to the head. Nobody's adjacent. Oh, son of a gun. Her retinue's adjacent. So they do take damage, and on a 6+, or on a 4+, they're destroyed. Dead. So that retinue's now gone, which was kind of, not to be dramatic, our last hope. Was keeping that retinue in. She gets a disorder and a D5 insanity. Immortal. When you're insane, convert all damage to your hit locations to brain damage. And 1 D5 insanity. 4. Okay. So that was the end of what? What the hell was even that? That was just a reflex, or that was just the failure. The Watcher has 4 health left still. And now it's, I mean, the Watcher's turn and none of us can do anything. Idriel didn't surge, but she doesn't have any survival to try and block that. So back over to Dummy. He's going to come for the furthest survivor, which is right here. Durin. He's going to attack Durin. Oh my gosh. Durin's one of our crit masters. No evasion. Not looking good for Durin here. He does have 2 survival, so he could dodge 2 of these. Hitting on 2+ though. Not good. A 1. So 1 miss. How's his armor look? spent. Armor looks spent. Where's he take him? Give me 2 to the waist. Hey! 2 to the waist, so that's... Oh, no, wait, I only need 1 to the waist. Go back. They're worth 5 damage each. So we're definitely going to dodge the body, for sure. And if we want the chance to live, we got to spend that survival to dodge the waist hit, too. And we're just trying to extend ourselves as long as possible. If we want to live, we don't want to roll on the sphere injury chart. But now he's got to draw an AI. Petrify. Closest threat in field of view. What do you know? Well, at least we can't get stolen dreams. 6 dice? Give me a break. Why can't survivors have trap cards? My gosh. Any ones? Oh, there's at least a crit. No ones. So that's 6 hits. Worth 3 damage each. Right? Yeah, 3. So this is 4 of 6. Let's see if we can... Oh my gosh. So the 3 to the waist can be taken, but then 3 body shots on the severe injury table. Let's just knock them off one at a time before we roll the last 2 dice. So 7. I don't think there's anything to the thorax that doesn't give you a bleed. That one gives you 2. He's 1 bleed from death. What kills him? A 6. A 6 kills him for bleeding out. Destroyed genitals. So that is, let's make sure we get that severe injury on there. Destroyed genitals and the bleed that killed him. At least we get his things now, because he died. He was a good meat shield for us for a few minutes there. And then full move Watcher towards the closest threat. So he'll just pop right there. I'm just not too optimistic about securing these last 4 hits. But we gotta try. And it's our 2 least lucky survivors. So let's surge, possibly surge to look at the deck. Might as well keep our strategy intact. Yep, we gotta spend that survival to surge. Man, they put up an awesome fight though. I mean, really. Very cool fight. That's super dense and impervious. Let's put that at the end, right? Okay. I would have given a gap in the trap card, given a lot for that earlier. So she only actually has 4 movement now as well. So we'll get 3 dice going here for Idril. Yeah, yeah, Titan. We just been toying with him. You know what I mean? So we need 5 plus here. 1 hit. So we have 6 total strength. So between 2 dice, we have to come up with 15 damage if we're gonna wound. Crit on a 10. We can no longer come up with 15 even if we roll a 10 here. So that gives us 6 total damage for 12 total strength, meaning it was a piss poor effort, and we suck. Okay. Now Eowyn is going to try with the bow, because why not? Looking for some sixes. One hit. How about a crit here? Crit, come on! What, in the bounce back? Okay, failure. Failure, all survivors in the Void of Nexus suffer 1 damage to all hit locations. So that's Idril. Suffers 1 everywhere. So she is knocked down. How much health left? He has 4 health points left. But I do not believe we have the ability to peel through them. So, Void of Nexus, we would suffer Bash. It's not really a thing, so he's going to basic action target Eowyn. Eowyn has 2 evasion, so anything under a 4 misses. Miss, 1 miss, 3 hits. Head, body, waist. Did spread it out. Oh wow. We have to dodge that waist, or we'll be rolling. Oh boy. Well, if you ever have the ability to get the sim, Bill, you should look into it, because we're going to start like hosting game nights in Discord for sim, for like some private campaigns. You know, people can start some campaigns together. It'll be a good place for everybody to interact and do some kingdom deathing. I don't know if you have a computer capable of running it or whatever, but okay, sorry. Now it's basic action time. Purify. Oh boy. 4 dice. Anything under a 4 misses. Show me some low numbers. Oh boy. Ouch. 4 successful hits. This, my friends, will be the end of our beloved Eowyn. We were so close. I have mad respect for the effort that was put in on this campaign. Ouch. So we got 2 rolls on the legs. Is it only worth 4 damage each? 5? Oh my gosh. So, yeah, we gotta do body, waist, and 2 legs. Oh. Poor little honey. She's a goner. We'll start with body off the top. Okay. 7. She's already got 2 bleeds. Oh man, that's the 2 more bleeds. Shoot. So she's gonna bleed out on a waist shot. 5. Warped pelvis. Dang it. And that's it for her. And I tell you what, if we could just leave these endeavors left over for whoever comes to take our place, they would be happy about that. Eowyn's dead. Okay. So, monsters turns over. What do you know? Now it's Idril's back up. Give him hell, Idril. Looking for 4s. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we did, Titan. We summoned them even though we didn't have the max population, but once the population ran out, we stopped summoning them. I felt like that was the most appropriate way to play it. Yeah, retinues all died. That's a super... Yeah, that's going to go back there. So this has a bit of a bummer as a failure, but it does have a crit, so we could crit here. 4. Tragic. Means we cannot issue the wound even with a 10. 12. We got 12 and we needed 15. So that is a failure. So we gain a -1 strength token. Dang it. Okay, next one. Oh! Yeah, she's out of juice. 3 means we cannot inflict the wound there either. Attacker suffers 3 brain damage. Okay. Rude. Alright. Let's finish this up, team. Idril. Being attacked. 4 evasion. Anything under a 6 misses. 2 misses, 2 hits. 2 misses, 2 hits, no survival. Hands and waist for 5 damage each. That is a severe roll for the waist. You know, it sure was fun. It's okay. Really? Really die? That's how you're gonna do her? You're gonna do her like that? Final breath. Actually, you know what? It's a bit poetic, really. Final death. With your last gasp, you utter final words of bravery. Adjacent survivors gain 1 survival. You are dead. Though there was nobody there to hear you, Idril, your words of bravery were appreciated. You were in it to the very end. Alright. In glorious defeat, with a great inhalation, the Watcher greedily consumes everyone and everything before traveling for an eon, ultimately seeking a new place to hibernate. The time of the settlement has come to an end. Its people and history are lost forever. Story event, game over. Game over. Your campaign has ended in death and magnificent hopelessness. The settlement is lost. Lost settlements. Start a new campaign by taking a settlement record sheet and filling in a box under the Lost Settlements section. Apply all milestone bonuses earned to your new campaign and begin the first story. For every successive settlement you have lost, you may fill in a box and continue to earn milestone bonuses for your future campaigns. So, for one, when we start our Dragon King, at the start of the showdown with the first story White Lion, set up 1 Survivor Corpse terrain gear. Bill says, how many lost settlements have you had? I am on 12. Bill, I have lost 2 settlements, both to the Gold Smoke Knight. This is the first time I've lost to the Watcher. Which is okay, which is great, that's fine. Unfortunately, what we were lacking was the depth in overwhelming strength. And you know, we really only lost that in the last 3 or 4 years of this campaign. We lost some real heavy hitters. We lost Lucky, we lost Bell, we lost Bill. You know, if we would have had Bill, Bell, Lucky, and Durin the Survivor against that Watcher? Who knows? Some of those guys were rocking 5 and 6 permanent strength. You never know. Um, what I do know, and that hurts. Oh yeah, Titan. We cannot forget about that legend on the bow. Titan was like 19 years old with 2 weapon proficiency points on the bow. Absolute legend. What does hurt a lot is knowing that if I would have not brain farted and I would have brought the bone axe in with our lucky survivor, we would have won. We would have won a while ago, actually, which stings a little bit for sure. But but we more than likely would have still ended with just 2 females carrying on, so I probably would have ended the campaign there anyways, just because only being able to fight level 3s after the Watcher, and you can't go fight a level 3 White Lion with 2 survivors. So, skipping the first story showdown. If you're starting a new campaign, you may optionally skip the first story showdown and jump straight into the settlement phase. If you do, roll a d10 on the table below quickly to determine. Um, ooh, I don't like that because I don't want to risk founding stones. So we'll start our dragon campaign. We'll take down that prologue, and we'll start from the beginning just like this one. Um, yeah, counterweighted axe, and that bone axe does the same thing as well. There it is. Let's uh, let's head into our little post-game discussion like we already kind of started here before we close it up for the night. Let's head to main menu. All right. Well, I mean, a dramatic end to a wonderful campaign, and hopefully just the first of many campaigns. Really, we'll jump into this Dragon King campaign. We'll give it our best, and who knows? Maybe in a year and a half from now, we've got like a group gaming out on this. Who knows? You never know. But Dragon King starting next week. This is dead week for me for my university semester, and then the following week is finals. So we will play next week's episode by ear. It will definitely start at 7, but I might have to. I can't stay up terribly late. So if it runs into a situation where it's taken us a really long time to set everything up for the settlement, I might have to end it early and pick it up there the following weekend. But I'm assuming that won't need to happen. We'll be all right. So yeah, I uh, I don't really know what else to say other than it was a wonderful time. I loved it, and you guys are the reason that I did. Your guys' interactions and you being here and all your support is absolutely the best part of this. I love Kingdom Death, but I love the community, and I hope that we keep growing and that we make some great relationships out of this because I sure look forward to chatting with you guys every week. Definitely the highlight of my week. Titan, I am going to school. I'm just over halfway through my program for nuclear operations, heading out to a nuclear reactor site. So, yeah, please join the Discord. I'm gonna post later this evening some possible expansions. So we'll get some votes on those as to what we want to see in the Dragon campaign. I'll tell you right now, I'll like fudge all the numbers to get Slenderman to replace Kingsman. Because Kingsman, dude, put me 1v1 with a Kingsman after what he did to us, and my rage will definitely destroy him. Homie crossed some lines when he party wiped us a few weeks ago. So, buddy's a nuclear inspector in Illinois. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'll end up being a pretty much just a instrumentation specialist on the nuclear reactors. So I'll just provide all their maintenance and work on them here in Idaho. So, okay, guys, tough to say goodbye to wrap up this playlist in this season, but it's been an awesome ride. I'm glad we ended up in the simulator. I did enjoy doing the recorded videos, but you know what? Yeah, watch Chernobyl. Yeah, I've seen that one a few times, my friend. Uh, so yeah, it's been a pleasure, and you guys are the best. So I'll see you guys next week for a new campaign.